Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel. We're discussing popular culture of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm here in Guelph, Ontario for GenreCon. They've been around for about, I'd say, six or 7 years now. And I wanted to come check them out and see how they're doing after all this time. I've heard they have a couple of Power Ranger guests here, so I'm really excited to start meeting them. And hopefully some other fun guests who I can get to know today and see what's going on. Also, I heard that a special someone's coming down all the way from Calgary. Let's see if we can meet him today. See you guys soon. GenreCon is a geek event in Guelph, Ontario. They've been running events there since 2012. They have multiple events, including a crafting room, where you can try anything from painting and other geeky types of events, which are pretty creative. They also have the support of the 501st Legion, a local geek group that dresses up like Star Wars characters and raises money for charities. I took some time to walk around the dealer's room. It was rather spacious and had a lot of great dealers, including local artists, comic book dealers, a lot of board game dealerships as well. It really was quite the myriad of different types of geek-related merchandise in one place. My buddy Dan said he was going to be here to see some of the Power Ranger guests, and I decided to make the trek to Guelph to see Dan and maybe get some interviews with some of the guests there. I'm here with Chris Violette. He's one of the SPD Rangers from Power Rangers. Chris, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're a local Torontonian, is that right? Oh my gosh, this is
Born
so
and
great.
raised,
This is so great. And I heard a rumor. Are you doing a local show these days? What are you in?
I had done season 1 of Star Trek
Oh,
Discovery,
that is so awesome.
which was kind of cool.
That is so
Crossing worlds, Power Ranger world, and then the Star Trek world.
That is just so crazy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So, one of the things about SPD is it's very different from all the other Power Rangers. You know what I mean? They got this mysticism kind of thing. But you guys had a very different take on it, right?
Yeah.
You guys were...
I think we got blessed, I think, to our show creators and our writers and our producers, where our world took place in the future. It was 2025. We were cadet cops policing the world. Aliens and humans were living on it. There was a little bit of a misunderstanding with us having these powers that we were born with and how to utilize these powers. But yeah, it was very interesting. It made for I was again blessed with the creators that I had a couple personal conflicts with my character. Best friend coming back and us battling each other, being taken over by an evil alien.
Good boy, Rick. Whoa.
It's Sky!
Imposter!
You know what? That's one of the real great pulls of Power Rangers, right? It has very different, compelling storylines, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a kids' show, but at the same time, it really dug deep and emotionally, and in certain cases, a little bit sometimes too far.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, it's not funny, but I received emails, or you can get into contact with me on my website for anyone watching. But I have emails from kids that went to in high school and grade school and saying that them watching Power Rangers helped them overcome certain trials that they were going through as a kid, and the confidence they needed to and working as a team or believing in themselves, and it kind of comes full circle where you actually feel like when you're shooting the show, you don't think of the effect it's going to have on somebody 10 years down the road, or someone who's watching it when they're 5 versus them watching when they're 8 years old. And I think growing up is a little harder, I would say, now because of so much media and all this technology. And I think, if I can have a hand in helping someone overcome any kind of personal issues they're going through in their younger days of growing up, I mean, the better, man. And that's kudos to the people creating shows like that can, propel people into wanting to be better or feel safe or comfort from watching something that's driven towards that kind of age group.
Absolutely. So it wasn't filmed here in Toronto. It wasn't even filmed in North America, right? It was in New Zealand, right? Wow.
It was
Did
one
you
of
meet
the-
any hobbits while you were there? Like what?
We did go visit Hobbiton, actually. There's a couple stories that we can talk about, but I won't mention on the show. But there was something about a tree climbing and stuff like that we were. It's funny. There's a couple pictures circling the internet you can see. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure the ranger boards are all over.
Yeah,
don't have to worry
but
about
it was cool. Like everyone, I think back in the day, and that I wouldn't say back in the day, but when that was auditioning for it, like everybody who was an actor in Toronto knew, like if you booked Power Rangers, you were going to New Zealand for a year, training on-screen combat and like karate and whatnot. And it was like the show to book. And this was before like the internet was becoming a big thing. And yeah, like I remember when I booked the show, I was over there and I was communicating with my family like via MSN Messenger, like Windows had just become popular, and it was
save on the long distance, right?
Yeah, and like I mean, there was cell phones were just kind of coming out. There was digital cameras were just coming out. I remember I had brought a digital camera with me, and like I was like Mr. Digital Camera. I was like, got to document, and it was kind of funny to see the technology now. Whereas like thank God we did it without cell phones and smartphones, because there was a lot of stuff we did on sets that couldn't have been documented.
that's awesome, though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you train a little bit with like martial arts and anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was always kind of an athlete growing up, and I played a lot of sports growing up. So when I got to the show, I think just getting the show, and when I got there, I got heavily into more training. One of my this guy's character was he was the best of the best. He was very much more by the book, and so I spent time in the gym, and at the same time too for the fans, like when we did the on-stage combat and the training of learning how to roll and learning how to kick properly and punch properly. I wanted to do it as best as possible to make it look realistic on TV, and wanted it to be the best for the fans.
Absolutely. Right? You know what? That's really appreciated, because obviously, the very first season 1. You could tell, like, none of them really knew it.
But like Jason David Frank's an actual like karate expert. Like some of these guys, right? They're pretty badass in real life. But I mean, I'm just.
But Amy Jo Johnson, she's more of a gymnast than she was.
Yeah. I mean, I had some kind of, like I said, like I was athletic and I had some background. But yeah, I mean, it's just again, I wanted to make it look as realistic as possible and try to do as much of my own stunts as possible, right? Like I think any actor who wants to be in action likes to do their own stunts to a certain point, but then eventually, like I'm no Tom Cruise, but that guy's a whole other level, right?
You've been to Power Morphicon, like
yeah. Did Power Morphicon, did Ranger Stop. It's always fun to kind of meet up with the other Rangers of the franchise and share stories.
What is it about Power Rangers, do you think? What is it that brings people together? And it's just generational. It just keeps going year after year after year.
I think when the first original, the original show started, it was kind of like in that generation where, I remember watching it like YTV before school, and like, it was something that we kind of just, I think anyone in my...
I never hear anybody say YTV.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Like anybody in our age group of like growing up with that, it was something that was kind of cool. Like, like you look at the Goonies back in the day, some of the movies that we follow, and it's like you go to school and there's the after school kind of like going like on a treasure hunt, where this was the same thing. It was like school, and then there were like secret heroes after school, and I think everyone kind of resonated with something like that, of wanting to be a superhero at some point, but this was more attainable as opposed to a Superman from Krypton. We could find some rocks in a cave and get magic powers or something, and it was just interesting like that. I think anyone who was a superhero fan could gravitate towards Power Rangers in that sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, other than Discovery, what else are you up to today?
A lot of
voice work or anything?
Well, I do voice audition, but if I ever get booked for something. But I'm doing a lot of writing, a lot of writing actually. I have a couple ideas that I want to kind of get off the ground, and I think it comes from getting the ideas out of your head and onto paper, onto some sort of storyboard of some kind. I'm writing a fantasy novel. I'm writing a horror franchise right now, and I got a couple shorts in the go that I'm kind of wanting to team up with some of my friends here and put them on paper and then get them shot. Just kind of get them circulating the festival. And again, like using the technology that I have, I can shoot a film and put it out there on the web and see if we get some traction and send it to some festivals.
That is awesome. So where can guys find you if they want to talk to you or if they want to send you some fan mail?
It's csviolette.com, www.csviolette.com, and that's, you get my email there, and you can get contact me. I'm on social media. All my social medias are csviolette.
We'll put that in the description below for anybody who wants to get in contact with Chris. Cool. Anyways, guys, Chris, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you in future events as well.
Get some more Star Trek Discovery.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to my channel. We discuss popular culture of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I'm here with the Red Ranger, Brennan Mejia. How's it going, Red?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing excellent. I'm better now, actually.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I try to have that effect.
So you were the Red Ranger in Dino Charge, is that
Correct.
right?
And Dino Supercharge.
That is so awesome.
Thank you.
So what is it like? I have to ask, what is it like being the Red Ranger?
Well, you get to wear red a lot, and even when you don't mean to wear red, people commented like, "Oh, you're wearing red because you're a Ranger." It's like I was just wearing red today, but I guess yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I grew up on Mighty Morphin, and being a Ranger, other than Halloween, was one of those dreams you never think is gonna happen, and then it did. It's like, oh my gosh.
6 months later, you got here.
So, why do you think Rangers has lasted this long? Like, what is it? What is the lasting power? I mean, like, there's all these cons are coming up, like anniversary editions, all these really great things. What is it? What is it you think is
Well, for sure the fans. I mean, we have some really great fandom that cares about not just the show in of itself, but the actual actors, and they support the conventions, and they like that. Sometimes we make our own shorts and videos outside of Rangers, and they really support everything we do collectively.
We've seen your Red Ranger.
And aside from that, they also like the fact, I like the fact there's teamwork, camaraderie, and that there's a different Ranger personality-wise and lifestyle-wise that kind of connects to everyone on some level. Like, maybe you were the one into science, so you liked Billy from Mighty Morphin, or maybe you were the martial artist or the gymnast, so you like Kimberly or whatever, and as the seasons go on, the colors switch for like the type of people, you have the smart one, you have the fighter, you have the blah blah blah.
That's one way to do it. Absolutely. Were you involved with the Red episode where all the Red Rangers got
That was before my time.
Oh, that was
so I'm waiting for Forever Red 2 to come out, and then I'll be involved.
Yeah, because obviously there are a lot of different Tyrannosaurus and Dino Rangers, obviously ever since the beginning.
I'm number 3 out of the
Yes,
dinos.
that's right. So, what is it that you brought to the Red Ranger? Your energy.
Oh shoot! Probably my energy. I mean, if we're comparing Red Rangers, I'm probably the most hyperactive of every Red Ranger ever. I'll leave it on that street, at least out of the dinos. Yeah, Tyler, my character, is very free-going. He's adventurous. He's always positive all the time, which I like because I like to think I'm a positive person in real life. So that was really.
I can tell you guys, this is really him. I mean, like,
I'm just in red. Like, we can shoot an episode right now. Like, I don't even need lines. I'll listen probably. It's the fact that he likes to always see the best in things and to always try over. He doesn't give up, and that's I really think was kind of is Tyler's thing with that charge.
Absolutely. So, I asked Chris the same question. It wasn't filmed here in Toronto. It was filmed. Where did you guys film?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. What's it like?
Oh my gosh, I want to retire there. It's a beautiful country. I mean, you have Lord of the Rings shot there, and Narnia, and like Power Rangers. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, it's so magical and all fantasy land, and they have tours. The people are really nice. The food is great. Pricey sometimes because it's an island. I get it. You have to, import a lot of things, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Did you do any martial arts yourself? Like,
I did.
So, how was that? Like,
I did judo. I wrestled in high school, and I practiced Krav Maga. So those are the 3 that I primarily did. I still do Krav on and off, but those fighting styles are more hand-to-hand. Sure. They're not very flashy and like flippy, So on Power Rangers, learning to like when I punch to keep my face open so camera can see me versus like cover my face again was hard to break the habit.
Exactly.
So I mean, screen fighting's different. I've trained with stuntmen now and stuff like stunt performers, stunt women. So I'm learning how to punch and actually, not real fighting.
Yeah.
I just have to remember if I get in a fight to not do that. So I've got to remember to protect myself. Like, no violence.
How was Supergirl? Like,
Oh man, that was so cool. Like, again, first time in a Canadian country when I shot that in November. So this is a couple months ago, but the cast was amazing. They only used me a couple of days, but they put me up for like 3 weeks, so I got to explore. So it was just really,
Vancouver, right?
Yeah, a lot of time.
Vancouver's a wonderful.
It's fantastic.
Were you there during the summer or the winter?
November.
November.
Yeah.
All right. So it actually wasn't that cold. It's like they have they're covered by mountains, so it's like
40-ish, maybe. Not too bad. Thank you, Jeff.
Red, thank you so much for your time, guys. The Red Ranger. Hey guys, it's Jay. I'm here with Tommy Gofton. He is the actual creator, conceptualist, and basically he made GenreCon. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good to meet you.
A lot of praise there.
Well, you know, it's been 6 years. You know, like
It's been a while, yeah.
Something to celebrate, of course. Isn't it?
It's pretty good. It's still going on. It's a slow growing little convention, but it's got heart. I guess GenreCon was created because it was a reaction to me going to a lot of conventions and my community needing a small convention like this. We had a convention that was around back then that was more anime focused, so I wanted to do something that was not so anime focused. And so since then, it's been surviving. It's been doing well, and yeah, I mean, we're going to keep doing it. So
You know, it's excellent. And you guys used to be down the street over by the Holiday Inn,
Yeah.
but you moved up here. I think there's a lot more interesting space.
It's
I
a
think
nice
that-
space. We've been here before once. So GenreCon had 2 eras. The first era we ran for 3 years. The first 2 of those years were at Holiday Inn. The third year was here at Delta. Then we took a hiatus. Did a switch of the guard. Had a new team kind of move in. And then we did the last 3 years, 2 years at Holiday Inn, and now 3rd year here at Delta. We're not going to repeat the pattern of taking a break. We're going to keep going. So next year we'll be here again. We are going to move the weekends though. There were a couple of massive conflicts that we don't want to interfere with again. We wanted to have a big Magic the Gathering tournament.
Yes.
But there's a big Grand Prix thing going on this weekend in Toronto where all the Magic players are.
Wow.
So we lost that entire demographic, and we even had guests coming that would have, like artists that would have been really good for this. Sure. But we had to cancel them because we didn't realize the Wizards was going to slam a giant Grand Prix. And these little conventions for the vendors, I mean, I'm always nervous and self-conscious about the vendors. I want to make sure that the sales, the crowd isn't fully packed. They get kind of like, oh man, I'm so sorry. But they all say, they all make their money somehow. And they all have a great time. And a lot of them say they don't really come here because this is a cash handle business. We do things that support them that no other conventions do. Like we provide them like dinners and dances. And we give them like industry events and parties for the vendors. We give them cash back. We give them t-shirts. We give them free coffee all weekend long. And we make the place licensed so they can grab beers. Like they really, really enjoy, and they call it their Relaxicon. Since it's the first time of the year, they get a chance to try out new booths, new merchandise, see how it goes, and then just chill, right?
That is so awesome. So this year, you have some amazing guests, a couple of Power Rangers.
Yep, and some Power Rangers.
And some video game guests as well.
That's right.
And I hope to get an interview with them. But what else is new this year? Like,
It's called Ragnarok. It's a game like the world is ending. It's a full gaming convention. And so we're going to have some immersion between Ragnarok and GenreCon. Because if you can tell by the logos, they're colored in the same kind of way. But we are going to be having that convention just really focused on tabletop card games in general. And then next year, GenreCon is going to try and dip toward the anime side a little more. So we'll fill in the shoes of the legendary and late Ron G that used to be here, which doesn't exist anymore. Sadly.
yeah, they had a good run.
They were great. I mean, I think they were in a situation where the success hit them too quickly and they didn't know what to do with it, and they weren't in it to win it.
Sure.
Not a bad thing. They just family and lives. And I think GenreCon needs to fill that void. So I think we're going to see GenreCon. Like we're going to go more Japanese.
Cool.
anime.
Cool. Very cool. All right, guys. I've been talking with Tommy Gofton, and this is GenreCon, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Tommy. Really appreciate it.
Do you see the triangle like it? But then
And you know what? One thing I really like is good pair of die. And you really have to come over to Little Dragon Corp. And I wanted to talk with the owners here because they have, and I'm not joking about this, a lot of dice. I'm here with Colette. She's the owner and I guess curator, designer of Little Dragon Corp. How are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
So, you're here at GenreCon today, and you know what? It's pretty much the appropriate place for you to be, right? I mean, like, it's all about dice, it's all about the
It's
Dungeons and
all about
Dragons.
gaming
Yeah.
and everything. It's actually my first time here, and the staff has just been amazing.
That's awesome. So, why dice? I mean, like, I know why I like dice, but what about you? Why dice?
When my son was 4 months old, I don't know if you have kids, you get really tired. And I was actually watching him at my husband's store, and I was rocking him, trying to get him to sleep, and I was just staring at the wall of dice. And I was just like, I could make dice. I could design dice. So in the middle of the night, I just kept thinking about things. I couldn't sleep. He was crying, so I just kept thinking. And I came up with doing birthday dice.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted something that was fascinating to me. So I had my dice, which is actually a mixture of transparent and layered. And I wanted a dice that no matter which way you looked at it, it was completely different. So I did a Kickstarter last year, and we were successfully funded, and I was able to make 9,000 sets of dice.
Wow, that's a lot of dice.
Yeah. I fulfilled everybody within 4 months, which made me really happy because I wanted to have all my backers actually fulfilled first. And now we're getting ready to do our next Kickstarter. I wanted to do a mixture of dice that actually looked like you took a raw gemstone and just tumbled it with all the imperfections and all the different colors. Not the perfect shiny ones that are translucent, but more of the ones that just look unique. So we're actually launching on Tuesday at 9 a.m. We're doing it's called the Hidden Gem Dice. And we're going to be doing, anyone that backs in the first 24 hours gets a commemorative D6 with a little dragon that we designed on the D6. What we actually want to do is just open up the first flagship dice store in Canada.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely we want to start supporting Kickstarters like this, which are really geek related, because, you know, we're all about the geeks here. So definitely check out littledragoncorp.com. And heck, let's go over there, let's support her Kickstarter, and let's get her funded again. Thanks a lot, guys. I had a great time at GenreCon in Guelph, Ontario. And just before heading home, I found my buddy Dan and his cousin Steve playing Rock Band. What a great way to end the day. Thanks again for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Check out some of the other episodes I've done. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter.